Live at MindTaker with Warboss Ken and Zakadaka. Let's get into it.
That works.
Okay, so yes, we are live streaming the ending of the Mork Madness Challenge, our big bracket tournament to find the orkiest unit of all time. And since it's not going to be just me, we had to invite some guests, which we've done, and we're here at MindTaker. So before we get started, I'm going to take you all on a tour around MindTaker, and then let everyone get up on the stream, and then we'll get into it. All right, let's see. You guys see? There we go. Okay. Bingo, bango. So here we are in MindTaker Miniatures, friendly local game store. If you have not partaketh, you should check out their links. When I link them, they sell entire armies. Yo, Keith, welcome to the stream. They sell things that are new in box that have been traded in, bulk things, all sorts of minis, and of course, used stuff. And here is their current orc selection. If you boys are looking for some used boys, here they are, nice and cheap. And then they've got really cool stuff. Check out these war tracks and this old school Scorcher. This isn't the plastic one from Gork and Mork. No. This is Rogue Trader era metal. That thing is rad. So all of these are listed on the MindTaker website. Yo, Calvin, what is happening? Rodolfo, yo. Yeah, so we'll bring you live in the store. Let me know what you want to see. But there's also Age of Sigmar and Warhammer the Old World and all the specialist games, Blackstone Fortress, Blood Bowl. Okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready? This is going to be good. Boom. Gorka Morka new in the box, almost entirely complete. We've also got Horus Heresy and Frostgrave and Beastgrave and all that stuff. Blood Bowl. There's some Battlefleet Gothic up here. Rule books out the wazoo. White Dwarfs out the wazoo. And then they have other stuff that is not Warhammer as well. So if you're into any kind of like World War III or Flames of War or old historical minis and whatnot, they have it all. And check out the collection. I love the box collection. Of course, 3rd edition starter box there. That was my first starter box. Got the old Space Marine RTB-01 right there. Kia Strongpoint, Necromunda, Epic, Titan Legions. Yeah. So yeah, if you boys are interested in this Gork Morka, it is for sale on their website right now. I'll show you inside here real quick. Pop that open. You can see here's the price and the part number to make it easy to look. And yeah, got a bunch of sprues in here, almost complete on those. And then you've got the instructions and the whippy sticks. Oh, these are good. Good whippy sticks. And then all the cardboard is still unpunched. It's got the whole fort in there. So yeah, if you're looking for a Gorka Morka set to add to your collection or have up on the wall or just enjoy the nostalgia, there it is right there. Calvin, I know, man, I wish there was a place like this everywhere. Unfortunately, there is not, but these guys do ship all over the place, which is rad. The old Gorka Morka bulk heads. No, I wish they did. If they did, I would have bought them. Sorry, Keith. But yeah, they got dice and a whole bunch of D&D stuff and whatnot, and then things in the case. When's the last time you saw an armor cast Tyranid thing? I mean, how cool is that? Yeah. Novels and books and all that stuff. Robin, say hi to the live stream. And then, of course, the every kit is an orc kit. Chinork Copter is right there. All right, and then the sensory table, the bulk bin. This is where all of the lovely, delicious bits come from, and sprues and whatnot out there. All right, so that is MindTaker Miniature. Big thanks to them for letting us invade their space to do this. And now let's get set up. Actually, no, let's look at the models first and talk to the boys. So, Warboss Ken, Zakadaka.
Or Dakazaka.
Dakazaka, yeah, like Gork or Mork, right?
Yeah. Like, 5 minutes ago?
Shh, that's proprietary information. Sorry. Behind the fourth wall there.
Sorry. Fourth wall again. My bad.
All right. So what we've got here is our Mork Madness Orkiest Unit Challenge. If you don't have your bracket up yet, this is your last chance. As soon as we pick our first one, if you're not posted, you're not in anymore. So no dirty death sculling here. But what we're doing is we're going through each of these final 16 and picking the orkiest thing to ever orc. And we brought the goods. So yes, everything that is on the list we have here in person, including the Death Dreads and the Grot Tanks and the Tank Bustas. And check out the old school Storm Boys. In fact, I think we have all three versions of Storm Boys, right? Yeah, there's the originals, there's the year 3rd and 4th edition update, and here are the current ones. Got Beast Bosses on Squigosaurs, Tank Bustas, Battle Wagons, Bubble Chuckas, the Bird Obama, the Bone Breaker, 2 Stompas. I mean, come on. All right, so for the viewers that haven't met you guys yet or don't know who you are or what you're about, how long you been into orcs?
Started orcs about probably 3rd edition. I had a couple orcs here and there, but really got into it about 8th.
All right. And you play competitive. They know that because we've done the Tacoma. Yeah, both of you, right? Yeah, we've done the Tacoma Open. You guys both went last year too, right? Yeah. Competitively, yep. So you guys know the lore. You know playing. How long have you been into orcs?
Started with the orcs in middle school, which was a long time. It was even longer than you.
Right? Yeah.
Older than
Yeah.
Right? But then I didn't play for like 20 years. Then COVID hit, and I actually came to MindTaker. I was looking for an army, and I came in with all my old mill shit. They took it in. I got $600 credit because it was a lot of old stuff, and they just happened to have an orc army available.
Oh, so it was a one go.
A whole orc army here. Like I just traded in all my stuff I've been carrying around, doing nothing with for 20 years. Got a whole orc army here.
So you looted it like a death skull.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
That's why we love MindTaker.
I mean,
Right.
that's where I got these guys
Right,
from.
yeah.
Like last week.
Yeah, so if you really liked those Store Boys, you should be more up on the website with MindTaker. They also do emails every day. You can sign up for the email list, and then you'll be able to know as soon as those hit the streets. So we are going to get into this. What we're going to do is we're going to sit down with all three of us, and we're going to debate each of these live and in person so that you guys know who our picks are. And then at the end of all of that, we are going to draw the names for the winners of the Win Old Big Mex Orc Army. We're going to draw first, second, and third live here on the stream. So everybody grab your red squig so you got enough energy to make it through, and let's get this going. All right, excuse the technicalities as we get this set up here. All right. Stick the three of us here on the end.
Ooh. Yeah. Guess I'll be your right hand man. He's your left hand.
So are you Gork or Mork? I'm Spork.
Oh, you're Spork?
I mean, come on.
Oh, I got you.
All right. So, the last chance, all right? We're going to call it. It's what, 6:17, more or less? All right. So if you don't have your bracket in now, you're SOL. We are getting started on the Mork Madness Orkiest units. Okay. First up, Tank Bustas versus Warbikers.
Ooh, tough choice.
So, man, the aesthetic of orcs in a biker gang is, can I curse? It's freaking awesome.
Right.
There we go.
I was going to say, we're not for children, but also we don't want to get too monetized.
Okay. It's freaking awesome.
Gorkin awesome.
Gorkin awesome, yeah. However, I mean, tank busters blow stuff up.
Got to do.
They got big guns. I mean, so if we're talking like old school original tank busters with the hammer,
Right, okay. So
Okay.
let's take a chance here. Let's go over the rules so that they know what's going on and you guys know what's going on. When we say orkiest unit, what we mean is everything, the totality. We're not just talking about the model. We're not just talking about the unit, like in the game. We're talking about lore, artwork, sculpts, how long they've been in the history. When you like close your eyes and think orky, is that what you see? And the essence of orkdom also includes that little bit of randomness and unpredictability and just kind of like fun with war, right?
yeah.
So like, if it doesn't make you chuckle a little bit, is it really that orky? So when we talk about like tank busters and old school, obviously we have brand new ones too, and they're super awesome, as you've seen down here. But yeah, it's all the tank busters, right? Not just
so
that
we're
you got
including the
rocket
Breaker Boys that got split out. From
So no, Breaker Boys we did different.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
you could include anybody that's ever been in tank busters,
Okay,
which
well,
includes
then-
the tank hammer for sure,
The tank
and the
hammer
rocket
will win it
pistols,
for me, and the rocket pistols.
right?
All right,
That's
so
gonna be bikers for me. Just the
I can
tank
see it.
buster hammer alone.
Right.
That thing is so awesome. And you blow yourself up.
Right? Yeah, blowing yourself up is always good bonus points.
So I have good points. You know, war bikers are like super orky, right? It's got this Mad Max feel that we
Right.
all love. But for me, my bias is more like the third edition Coral Book, Dawn of War 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking tank busters from the first Dawn of War. Man, those things were crazy, right? They just stick a rocket onto a stick and they just lob at people.
Oh yeah. Oh man, those are the OG ones. Yeah, it was literally a stick with a rocket on the end, and it was like like those little squirt
Yeah,
tubes that the kids use, but it squirted a rocket instead. Yeah, the rocket sticks were even so easier.
For me, I'm gonna say tank busters. For that reason, nostalgia factor is just there for me.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, war bikers are really, really cool, right? You're driving through the desert on a bike, going as fast as you can. And y'all know I love going fast. But that randomness, that like just hilarity of like, hey, look, there's a Bane blade. I'm gonna take a rocket pistol and run up next to it, and then shoot it at point blank range, or hit it with a stick. You can't top that. I think this is 3-0, no question. Tank busters take it. All right. So, there's your bracket update. Tank busters on the first go round. So sorry, War Bikers, you have dropped out on the Sweet 16. Okay, next. All right, this one's going to be tough. I won't lie. These are all going to be tough. War Boss, which, how do you get workier than a War Boss?
Quintessential orc right there.
Versus Grot Tanks.
Fucking quintessential freaking.
Sorry.
Oh my god. It's the best rot unit there is. I mean, it's so cool. I mean,
I mean, Grots are cool. They're not as orky as orcs.
They're not orcs.
The one thing I will say is look at the array in front of you, and what unit do you see the most of?
Yeah.
It's the Grot tanks. That I think speaks to something.
Every single one kit bashed.
Yep. Amazing, all of them. And yeah, I wish they would bring them back into competitive play and leave the wagons.
If I was CEO of GW for one day, that is literally the thing I would do. Is loot tank would be back.
Was that on the list at all?
It was, and it almost made the top
Okay,
16.
okay,
It was
okay.
really, really, really close. It was in the final, I think, or the final four.
Okay. Yeah, those were pretty cool. But back to
Yeah.
I think my vote is gonna have to go for the War Boss because I can't imagine as a player, as somebody excited about the lore, I can't imagine that without a War Boss. I mean, it's all about the progression of Crumpet.
Yeah.
And a War Boss is almost pinnacle Crumpet.
Right?
Yep. I'm pretty sure like 9 out of 10 of my lists have always had at least one more boss. I can't even like.
Okay, so back in the day, you used to have to take a war boss. The codex was one war boss. You couldn't not take one. But also, back in the day, which I personally think we should go back to, you could only take one war boss because there's only ever room in an orc WoW for one war boss. There could be other big bosses and big mechs, but
Now it's
war
the biggest
boss, one. So there's something to be said for that. But again, we're not just talking play. We're not just talking unit. Totality of orcdom. When you think about lore and artwork and video games and kit bashing and everything that is makes orkiness awesome. War boss. Still war boss.
It's still the War Boss.
Still war-
I mean, you throw on top of that, War Boss has a pet squig.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the times. And yeah, squig is hard to
Squigs, it's like salt on a good meal. It makes it taste better.
It's salt bay, but it's squig bay.
Yes, squig, yeah. It makes it even more orgy.
All right, I'm gonna say Grot Tanks. I'm overruled. You guys win. It's gonna be War Boss. But for me, it's Grot Tanks, I'm with you 1,000%. This is so tight. I mean, we're talking. This is triple anytime joinker off the. Okay, all right. Well, then let me work on it. Then we haven't built it yet. Okay, so here's where it comes down to for me. War Boss is awesome, right? Love a War Boss, but when you really sit down and think about it, War Boss is still just a step on the progression. It's not the pinnacle. Okay,
It's almost
because
right?
you've got Warlord, you've got Arsonist, you've got like there's all the other different levels of crazy orcdom that go up above a War Boss. So War Boss is just another bigger boy knob progression, whatever. But he's still not the top, right? I mean, Gaz is controlling how many hundreds of War Bosses at this point? Like, they're just kind of out there, which, again, very orky, very cool, very great. But when you think War Boss, do you think generic War Boss, or does it bring you to all the named War Bosses of the world who are not in the thing?
They're not in the thing.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I like your points. There's only one Gaz, right? But I like the fact that every War Boss here, like where he's at in Protocol, just thinks he's like the best ever, right?
That's true.
And
That is true.
that, he's slightly frontier. He's like, no, I'm gonna trump that.
Yeah, he's the War Boss. He's still the War Boss. Yeah,
Confidence is very orky.
that's true. That's true. All right,
I'm still right on the edge.
you're
man.
right on the edge. You're right on the edge.
You gotta
War
push
Boss.
it.
Solid
Yeah.
War Boss. Okay. For
Gotta
me,
push it.
the push is the randomness that is the Grot Tanks. They run around the battlefield, disrupting things. They blow themselves up, and just the thinking like an orc. The hilarious idea that no one's going to give a Grot Tank. They're not going to build it themselves. It was some orcs got bored one day and said, "Hey, let's build some little tanks. Put the Grots in them, and then put them in a pit to fight each other like an old chicken fight or
All right,
something."
that was
right?
it right there.
Like,
Okay,
I
you
mean,
did it.
that's hilarious.
You
Like,
did it. You pushed me over.
How do you?
You pushed me over. I'm on your side.
Grot Tanks?
I'm
All right.
Grot Tanks.
You boys saw this live. Grot Tanks take out the War Boss. I know somewhere out there, Best Grot is watching. He's probably losing his mind right now. The Grots have made it to the Elite Eight. All right, next up, Flash Gits versus Rucka Trucka Squig Buggy.
I'll start this one off.
Yeah, go for it, kid.
Flash gets 1,000% for me. I'm thinking the Dawn War, Dark Crusade. I think it's the first one that came out of the video game.
Right?
And, just like, it's got the big gun, just every bullet just,
Right.
just chunky. And, man, that stuck in my brain. So for me, easy Flash gets.
It's kind of. I hate to be following in Ken's footsteps here, but I'm gonna agree there. I mean, I like the rocket truck. It's pretty cool. It's again squids. It
Right.
shoots
That's
squids.
bonus points.
Makes people's food better. It is basically a food truck.
It is, yeah. Oh, it's a
Which
taco
is
truck.
pretty awesome.
I gotta write that down. Taco truck. Okay.
However, pirate orcs
Man.
with
Yeah.
guns that could be anything. You want to talk about randomness? Have you tried to put the kit together for the flash kits out there?
Yes, yes, I have.
There's like 7 pieces for the gun alone, and they're all different.
That is true.
That is absolutely true. And frankly, the thing that for me is the kicker is a part of that gun. One of the guns, one of the parts is in an 80s boombox. Like if you really looked at the kit, I don't know if the one here has it on there. But if you really look at the kit, one of the snaz guns,
I don't have a
the side of it is literally an 80s boombox. It has the equalizer on it and the double tape deck and everything.
100%.
And just forget noise marine. I want boombox flash kit, like for real. Now that being said, Rocket Truck Squig Buggy absolutely deserve to be on this list. All the new Rocket Buggies are really, really cool. Of all of them, that one is probably the coolest. One, because it's squigs. But two, the like in the lore and stuff going back from before these buggies all existed in the form that they did. This one is most steeped in the lore. It's kind of based on the original truck. Squigs have been around forever. When you read some of the old stories and stuff about like the original Armageddon codex that came out in 3rd edition and stuff, all the lore that was around that, they talked about orcs using squigs as weapons and things like that, right? So it to me it was like the most orky, where even though it was a brand new kit, you're like, oh yeah, this has always been here. This has always been here. But Yeah, flash kits. I mean, the idea that like you've got these knobs, they could like be crumpet, they could be working on being a war boss, but no, they've decided they need DACA that makes the tank bus to look lame. Like that is rad.
Gotta get those snaz guns.
Right. All right. So 3-0 on flash kits.
3-0 on flash
That
kits.
was another absolute ripper.
All right. There you go, guys. Flash kits. All right. Last one on the left side on the Gork column. We've got Beast Boss on Squigosaur, another newbie, versus the Bone Breaker Battle Wagon, which we have right here. Two of them, actually, both with Bone Breakers. Now, so in case you guys weren't totally up on it, Battle Wagon was in the original 64 as three different units.
Yeah, Kill Wagon,
Yes,
Standard
yeah.
Battle Wagon, and the Bone.
And then the Bone Breaker, yeah. And the reason why I did that is even though they're all one now, they used to be different data
Yeah.
sheets, but also they used to be different kits. When you bought the Battle Wagon, it only came as the open top basic Battle Wagon, and you had to buy a different kit or upgrade
Yeah.
sprue
That's where I
to
got
get
that,
the
guys.
Bone Breaker and to get the art
Yeah.
case and to get all the other stuff. But also in the lore and stuff, all of the photos and stuff are different. In fact, way back in the day, I'm sure you remember this. Games Workshop famously did not make a Battle Wagon kit. And it was even in the codex, it said, you don't make a kit for this. If you want a Battle Wagon, you have to kit bash it. Here's your dimensions. And there's just part of me that will always love that. So they all got separate entries to account for that. Original Battle Wagon fell away. Gun Wagon versions were all lumped into one. They fell away. And the Bone Breaker was left. And the reason why the Bone Breaker did it, I think it might have even gone up against the regular Battle Wagon, is that in the lore, in the photos, in the video games and stuff, when the Battle Wagon has the roller on it, that is like peak Ortho. Like you can see like artwork, like codex cover style artwork of a Bone Breaker roller like coming to mow you down. Like you can't
Who
get
didn't
there.
grow up with like watching TV or something, and you know the cartoons where somebody gets
Roger Rabbit, right?
yeah,
With
just
the-
gets
the
flattened by a
steamroller.
steamroller. I mean, orcs do it. Yes.
Right, right.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had the second edition of Battle Wagon. Right?
Yeah. Well, no, so it was armor cast. So way back in the day, Rogue Trader and second edition Gork Morga era, there was a Battle Wagon, but it was not Games Workshop. It was Armor Cast, which was a separate company that Games Workshop had like a licensing thing with, and they're the ones that made all the original Titans and Gargants and things like that, and they made a Battle Wagon. After that, there was no more Battle Wagon until this one.
That's right. So I had that one. It's since been converted to a kill rig, but yeah, I actually really like that model.
It is
That
super
being
cool
said,
model.
you want to take us away with your vote there?
Ooh,
I haven't even voted yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
still don't.
we were just
talked
talking
about one of them.
Yeah, so-
obviously got us all really excited.
Right.
It's a tough deal. If you
It does make it a tough deal. But
Well,
yes, Beast Boss on Sprigosaur being one of the newest things though, for me is one of the absolute essence of orcdom kits and ideas out there. The idea that there's this war boss, and it's not just a war boss, he's a beast boss. He like specifically goes down and hunts the biggest, nastiest, meanest demons and monsters and constructs and robots and tank. He doesn't care. He wants whatever the biggest thing on the battlefield is, that's what he's going for. Everything else is beneath him. And not only did he rise to that level, he then went and found the biggest, slobberiest, meanest squid he could, and then he got on it. And now he is commanding a Wa from on top of that thing. To me, is just so cool.
Now, I've already established I love squigs.
Yeah. In case you can't tell, that's Zach's print right there. Looks totally cool.
Right? Oh yeah, with the Sharkosaur.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I especially love this. I'm gonna go show this to the chat because they can't see what we can see back here. This one right here. I don't know if you boys can see this. The tail here is mechanical, and the leg is mechanical. And this is important. This is what everybody gets wrong about all of the Beast Snagga stuff is they think it's all feral. It's not feral. They are Scarboys reimagined. They all have crazy mechanical things on them. So for this print to include that and the mechanical tail just absolutely eats it for me. That thing is rad. We do have this one, right? Yeah. We do have one OG one. This one is the special character guy, but still it's the same model.
Mazrog.
Yeah, Mazrog, but I mean, it's a V8 powered squid. Come on.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we can't see you guys. We should actually scooch in a little more. There. Okay. Now it doesn't look like I'm talking to myself.
That was awkward.
It's not for me. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, we couldn't tell. The chat was fine with it. They're good. So we got Beast Boss on Squigosaur.
So what I like about it is that the kit bash opportunities are endless. Like you find a big bag,
Well, I mean-
you throw a Mork on top, and yeah.
Right? We look at. You asked us to bring it. We got
Yeah, there's three different
completely
ones.
different
Yeah,
battles.
yeah, and my one at home is different than those three too. And yeah, like you said, kit bashing galore. Before this started, Ken and I were literally walking around the floor of MindTaker here, looking at every big kit we could find for like, kit bashing opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
And there were at least 4 different kits, and we were like, oh, that'd be a good Beast Boss and Squigosaur.
Yep.
Right. I mean, I love the Squigosaur. I mean, there's a reason that everybody has kit bash. It's not only because it's good to kit bash, it's because it was so damn popular when it came out.
Yeah.
You couldn't find it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, it's
fun.
It's a fun unit. It's a fun model. It's a fun idea. I mean, I get it. I love the battle line. I love everything
100%.
about it. But at the end of the day, it's just a bigger truck. It's a glorified transport. It brings boys from A to B. It doesn't do that much crumping itself. It's not. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Squig's fun. That's why I am a single faction player. I mean, I play like probably 20 to 30 tournaments a year, and I play one faction regardless of how good we are at the point, because orcs are fun, and that right there, it's just it's fun.
Well, I'm pretty sold on that. I was pretty high in the wagon, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
You
these
play
are
like
all
that?
close matches. But
Yeah,
I'm on Beast Boss on Squigosaur.
All right, Beast Boss as well.
3-0 Beast Boss on Squigosaur. That is going to come as a surprise to some people, I'm sure. There's a lot of
I hate for Beast.
I don't want to say hate. I think-
Okay, there's a lot of. It's not as good as the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean anything that's new is immediately looked down on because
Yeah.
the old ways are best, obviously, right? But outside of that, anytime you get new units and new directions for the lore and the models and stuff like that, people have opinions on it. When orcs went to the squatty guys with yachts after the second edition being like samurai looking dudes, there was a lot of pushback on that and how dorky and stupid looking they were. And then, now that's like, oh, it's peak orcdom, and the old guys are a little weird, right? So you're always needing a little bit of that. And then I also think that there's a lot of misunderstanding around everything with the beast tanks. I think Games Workshop screwed up trying to make them like their own little sub-faction. And also, painting them as snake bites was the worst thing, because everybody thinks that all of their armor is just bone and fur, because they painted it white. It's not bone, it's metal. I mean, the Knob literally has a Necron spine as his boss pole. I mean, So just literally painting them anything but white, they're immediately a million times cooler. And so just everybody that it's like, oh, I don't like them, and you hand them a model and like, just look at it. And like, oh, whoa, I didn't know he had a cyborg leg and scars going down his face and a tank tread on his shoulder. That's really cool. And then there you go. So
It's a 9 out of 10 kit. That's a solid job.
yeah, for sure. All right, so that's the first half of our bracket there. Gork's side is done. We've got Tank Bustas, Rot Tanks, Flash Kits, and Beast Boss on Squigosaur. All right, switching to the Mork side. Here we go, boys. Big Mac with shock attack gun, specifically, versus Death Dread.
This is a no-brainer for me.
Really, to me, when I was looking
it's a
at
no-brainer for me.
all of the battles to start with, I thought this was going to be.
I can see how you can
the
think that, but you would
closest.
be wrong.
Zach,
Okay,
take us away.
take it away. You have the
For
floor.
starters, have you seen the Rogue Trader rules for the shock attack gun?
See,
They are-
I've played them.
Yeah,
I
they
read
are
them.
7 pages. 7 pages full of tables you're rolling. You got a vehicle, you hit it with the shock attack gun, there is a chance the snotling poofs in the dude's ear, and the guy has to keep going forward. I mean,
Yeah.
done. That's
Yeah.
like the only, plus you're shooting snotlings at people.
Right. Snotlings through people.
Through people.
Let's
Into people.
inside their
Around.
intestines. Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, the rules over the years have kind of gone down, and they're not nearly as fun. But they are still cool.
I mean, imagine being in like a Terminator armor and like a garage just absorbs in your ear, you know?
Right.
It's like scratching you.
Right?
The worst way to go.
It is the worst way to go. So when I started this whole thing, all 64 units, I think Big Mac and Shack Attack was literally the first battle. And I remember saying, even all the way back then, that this might be the winner of the whole thing, just to start off with. And yeah, it's all of the work. First of all, he's been around forever. He's got 3 different models, right? You've got the old school metal one. You've got the one that I brought there that came out in metal, and then later in the stupid resin. And then you've got the new version with the cool lightning bolts, all right? So 3 different versions. That's how long this thing's been around. It's been in all the video games. It's been in all the rule books and the lore and the photos. The damage tables, and even the ones that have gone down have still been wild.
Yeah.
Even the super simplified, like 5th edition era ones where you'd shoot, but like if you rolled a 1, instead of you shooting the snotling through the warp, you shot yourself through the warp, and the big mech would end up on the other side. There was even one at one point where you could shoot a tank and something would go wrong and you'd suck the tank back up, and the tank would appear where you were and like splat, you're dead. And now there's a tank in your lines.
It's chaos.
It is absolute chaos. I love it to death.
But
It
not the
is-
corn kind of chaos.
No, the good kind of chaos.
kind
The
of
cheeky kind of chaos. Our shenanigans are fun. But yeah, everything about Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun is absolutely peak working. The thing is, Death Dread.
Death Dread.
You take an orc, you weld him into a metal can that he can't get out of, and you give him 4 giant claws to rampage, right? And it's not just that. You could do claws, you could do custom mega blasts, you could have scorches, rocket launches. Like, there are so many different permutations of Death Dread. And again, we talked about like length of time in the history. We want to talk about models. You've got the current Death Dread plastic kit. You've got the old school metal Death Dread that you see there. You've got the even older school metal Death Dread that only had 2 arms. I think they might have one here in stock. However, there is one kicker to this. There is only one model in all of Warhammer 40,000 that is a legal model to play to this day in a tournament that is not 3 dimensions.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm about. Yeah.
Second edition starter set had Space Marines versus Orcs, and the Orcs included a cardboard Death Dread that would plug in onto this base. It is a legal kit. It is still the same silhouette. You can still use it to this day. There was an absolute epic person at Tacoma Open last year running one.
Oh, yeah.
There are awesome conversions online of people that have taken an original one and then built like a scaffolding behind it with a bunch of grots on it, and they're like carrying it through the battlefield to pretend to be a Death Dread. I mean, just the sheer insanity of both the real lifeness of that and the like in-game idea of like you can literally stand up a cardboard cutout of a dread and it works. It just works for orcs and
100%.
only orcs.
I did a tournament legal version of that, but with a gargantuan squish.
Oh, okay.
Where it's perfectly the right dimensions, and it's all GW plastic, well, a little bit, and then some wood I cut out and wrench and something.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
That being said, Death Dread, super orky, yes. And if it was against anything else other than
Right.
Shock Attack Gun, I would vote for it. But I can't.
Right? Yeah, I can feel like, if you ever watch American football, right? In the playoffs, you usually get a really, really good game, and then the Super Bowl is garbage. This is what this feels like. This should have been the Super Bowl.
Should have
This
been
should have been the final.
I will say, I will put my vote for the Death Dread.
All right.
I love the Shock Attack Gun, super orky, but those rules, they were just like a little before my time before I jumped into it.
Right.
That being said, it sounds hilarious. But I remember Death Dreads being in video games and just thinking that was the coolest thing ever. It's like Space Marine Dreadnought, but it's orky.
Right, it's way cooler.
It's way cooler.
It's 4 arms, and it's got more DACA, and it's just more.
I always remember like the piston stomping sound whenever they walk. That was just, perfect. So yeah, it gets my vote. But
I'll walk behind you, make a piston sound or something.
Right, yeah, I of all of the battles, this entire thing, all 4 original videos, all of this right now, this might be the hardest, like in all seriousness. They really are so good. I'm gonna go with Big Mac with Shack Attack, and not just because I am a Big Mac. But legit, for me, what it comes down to, when we talk about that essence of war kingdom, right? They both
cause mayhem. They're both really cool, but the shock attack gun has that little bit of hilarity to it. That a Death Dread is just dead serious. It is all goth, right? It's all killer, no filler, which is great. But I think that little bit of randomness, that little bit of funny, is over the top. That to me, that's what orkiness is. So it's got to be Big Mac.
All right, fair enough. Fair play.
All right.
Honestly, I would have been happy either way.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong. But Big Mac with shock attack gun. How you guys doing? Anybody busted their bracket yet, or are you still in it? All right, next one. This one is really interesting because we went from 2 units that were really close to each other to 2 that couldn't be further apart. Shoot a boy, simple as, just shoot a boy, versus the Burn Obama. So of all the flyers, the Burn Obama made it in because all the flyers are cool. But of all the flyers, this is the only one that dive bombs from high altitude to deliver flaming, burning death directly to your doorstep, which is really hilarious.
Sometimes he includes himself in it.
So, I'll start us off here.
Yeah.
So, Burn Bomb, hilarious. Back in 8th edition, the thing would just fly at you, and your lines would just blow up, just nuke your army, right? Hilarious. But, I'm going to say, for my vote, I know it's going to be a shooter boy, because think of John Board 1, that intro cinematic.
Oh, it comes over the ridge.
It was like 20 boys with guns, just dacking away. Not one of the shots hit. Yeah, it
This
was
matter. Yeah. I'm with you. I still have that game. I still play it on the regular. Dawn of War 1 was just clutch.
And that first cinematic, and nothing gets more than that, I think. So, this one's an easy one for me, shooting boys all the way.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not the direction I was going to go.
Okay, I understand. Shooter boys, quintessential orc, big pieces and lore going up there. Again, the Burn Obama kills itself.
Yeah, that randomness.
Yeah. I mean, it's covered in flame. I mean, a lot of times you see them a lot like yours, covered in flame, awesome looking. They drop bombs. They come up from up high. They kill themselves. That's a lot of. That's a lot to go over, you know.
That is
Some standard boys.
You might be thinking to change. So I was very shootable. Like I know it's simple as, but when you think orc, how do you not just see a shoot a boy as the first thing that comes into your head before you think of anything else? Like you start at shoot a boy.
I don't start to shoot a boy.
Oh, okay. Well,
I started chop a boy.
okay. That actually came up in the original go-rounds, and the difference for me was is if you actually look at the Codex covers, it's been Shoot a Boy more often than it's been Chop a Boy. And if you like really read the lore and the pictures and stuff, more often than not, they're all the same boys. They don't dominate between Shooter Boys and Chopper Boys.
Yeah,
it's actually
cool.
every orc has a Shooter and a Chopper. They don't have a Slugger. So really, like, you know, you always start with the DACA, and then they get close and you like throw it away, or there's already an axe on it or whatever, you know. But yeah, so it's like quintessential orc. How do you get more orky than basic boy?
Basic boy.
Well,
But
I mean, I think. Oh no, that was good. I would just cross out Shuda and just say boys, and I'd vote for boys.
I mean, we're orcs. We can change the rules, but we do want to be fair to the people
We
who make
want to be fair to
brackets.
the people in the bracket.
But burn a bottle. Okay, first of all, orc flyers are objectively the best flyers to have ever been created in
They're
anything.
definitely the
Okay?
coolest.
Okay, they made the coolest models for Aeronautica Imperialis. They made the coolest models in Epic. They have the coolest flyer model, period. There's an entire video game that's just orc flyers. They exist in all the other games too, but they are so cool that they went, you know what? We need to make DAC Squadron.
Like that one.
Right? Yeah, there's not even an Imperial. You can't even do Space Marine flyers. Like, that is how cool
that's
orc
just
flyers
dumb.
are. And right, yeah, there's stupid beakies. But of all the orc flyers, for me, the idea that, like, yeah, DACA is cool, but it's just strafing things, right? And yeah, all the other, you know, Wazbomb's kind
I'm a
of neat
big
because it's
fan
got like
of
a
Wazbomb,
first look stuff.
honestly.
But I mean, it literally has giant tanks of Prometheum on it that have to be dropped on your head, and the orc is only too happy to do it from 50,000 feet right on down, screaming at you.
Yeah.
It just the hilarity and the hardcoreness of that combined just does it for me. For me, it's Burn a Bomb. I mean, you guys see, this is like, it's not my best painted model. It is my favorite model. Like, I spend more time whooshing this thing around than I do anything else in 40K.
Speaking of being orky, and this is not to the lore or anything, let's talk about the kit.
Oh god, yeah, the kit is.
The kit is amazing for kit bashing.
Yeah, this is one
It
of
is
the all-time
best
greats.
kit for kit
Yeah,
bashing. I mean, I have a
S tier, no
yeah,
question.
I have a Dalek Stampa that's in pieces right now. It would be here.
Three stops.
That I use like the extra wing bits and stuff to build up his base.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is like the best kit I have found. For
Oh,
just
absolutely.
pieces.
Yeah.
I hope they keep making kits like that forever, because that is just top notch.
Yeah, if we did a kit version of this, it would be very,
yeah.
very, very
It
different.
was very different.
But this kit would definitely still be in it.
I'm just saying, you know, if we're talking about orchids, let's throw that on the top there too.
So my vote's Burn a Bomb.
Burn a Bomb as
Stick
well.
with my boys. Boys before toys, come on.
Boys before toys, but you're overruled on this one. It is Burn a Bomb. All right, there you go. Burn a Bomb. All right.
That right there is why I'm a Death Grade player and you're
A horror player.
a Horde player.
Green side. All right.
Right now I'm playing.
It's
Death.
finally time for Stompas.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Stompas, and they are going up against the Bubble Chukka, of all things, of the Met Guns. Now, the Met Guns all kind of got their own little injury, but of the Met Guns, they all kind of fell by the wayside, except for Bubble Chukka. The reason why Bubble Chukka did it was the hilarity that is, you're going to blow a giant bubble and pick up a Land Raider and just move it across the battlefield is hilarious, right? That's why that's here. Stompa needs no introduction.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Stompa. How could you possibly have the orkiest units and not include the Stompa in the final 16? Here they are.
Tough one. For me, this is a pretty tough one. Because the bubble chuck is straight up hilarious, right? You shoot the bubble, you have no idea what's going to happen. It might kill a tank, it might kill like 3 guardsmen, and you just have to roll.
It might pick the bubble chukka up itself and float it down the battlefield. At least it did at one point.
Well, there comes a point in time in a man's life where he has to go silly or pure awesomeness. And in this case, I'm going to go away from silly and go for pure awesomeness, which is
a 180
the
for the
Stompa.
awesome, yeah.
It is just so much DACA
Yes.
on
It
this
is all
giant vehicle there. When it explodes huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so cool. I can't even, my love of the Stompa is pretty high where I even bring it to tournaments when I should.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
How could
I
you not?
try my best to keep the Gork win rates down so we don't get, you know,
Doing your
we're
part.
gonna get.
Doing your part.
But, yeah, no, I mean, it's this giant freaking monster of a mech. It's almost a gargant. It's awesome. And, I mean, I think orcs, out of anything, everybody will point at the Stompa and go, that's orc.
Right. For me, like if you look at the left side, the guns, and that's peak pork right there.
Right?
For the right side, you got the
The
freaking
chainsaw that's the
chainsaw.
size of a knight in an armature, like
It's just guns strapped on guns and
giant
like guns strapped
smokestacks.
the gun has a V8 in the back of it.
Yeah.
So like Gatling something. I don't even know what, but anything
Well, I mean,
with a
it's
V8
the super gap, which
Yeah.
actually used to have a rule where you would just keep rolling the dice until
I
you
remember
got
that.
doubles.
Yes.
And then once you got the doubles, you were out of ammo. You couldn't fire anymore for the rest of the game.
That was such an awesome rule. Because sometimes first dice, you are
Yeah,
out.
you're out.
Sometimes you'd roll and roll, and you are out of dice. You're out of your opponent's dice. You grabbed up the dice at the start, you were still rolling. It was
And then
amazing.
you throw on top of that, you go back where you had the custom stuff, which you could give a lift and drop.
Oh yeah, you pick it up. And,
Yeah, where you just
right.
bop, having that already
Oh,
covers
there's-
exactly what the
bubble chuck
was
does,
doing.
yeah.
Except it's in a giant mech.
Right. Okay. Giant robots, objectively, always cool. Period. The end. Right. There's no argument. Stompa is the effigy of Gork and Mork personified. You are not a Big Mech until you have built a Stompa, right? In the lore and in real life, are you really an Orc player if you don't own a Stompa?
Yeah, I'm working on I'm working on my kit
Sorry, they're
bash. It's on the
Right,
way.
right, but you can build. That's you,
But you
you
can
go
build that
home, you
anyway.
take a flower pot, you turn it upside down, you put an Orc boils on, you have a Stompa like that. There
Get an
is-
alarm clock You put stuff around it, it happens to be valid, you got a Stampa.
Right,
Give
yeah.
it some claws, you're good.
Yeah, I remember that.
You buy a red squig water bottle and stick a gun on the side. And, I mean,
It's a Stampa. It's the right height.
Right. So,
Tournament legal.
yeah, for
100%.
sure, 100%. There is something about how big it is, how cool it is, how awesome it is in the lore, how awesome the model is. It's the biggest model Games Workshop makes. Now, that's not Forge World. Obviously, Forge World gets bigger, right? But plastic model, nothing is bigger than the Stampa. And to me, I know the instructions on it are complete garbage. I think that was on purpose, and it's hilarious. Because it's if you can't figure out how to put this together, you're not an orc. And if you put it together wrong, you are definitely an orc. Because there is no wrong way to put it together. I love that. There's no right way to put it together.
The freaking
Which is even better.
Forge World kid is so bad.
Right? I
Just get the freaking hair dryer out so you can straighten it up.
It is just so good. Everything about Stampa is just amazing. And then I'm sure this isn't a spoiler by now. If you haven't played Shoot His Blood Teeth, plug your ears. The very final boss battle, you're fighting against the Stampa. And it is as epic as you could possibly imagine. It
I
is
haven't played that in a
so.
while. We should play that all three of them.
Oh yeah, we told you. I was telling you earlier, the Grotz and I have it on the Switch.
Oh.
And we've played through and beat it like 4 or 5 times now.
that's
That's the whole
great.
thing. They love that
Yeah.
game.
All right.
And
Get
yeah,
off on it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, to me, there's no question. It's
No.
not, I love Bubble Chugga, but it's Stampa.
I love the bubble chocolate too, and it's the stuff.
It's Stampa. It's 3-0 Stampa. I mean, where's our credibility if it wasn't Stampa? All right. One more on
I'd
the,
have to turn in
the
my teeth.
16, right? All right. Last of the first round here, the new Beast Snagger Boys versus Stormblades. Now, I will say, just to make sure you gentlemen and our viewers are completely up on it, when the Beast Snagger Boys made it up here, it's because I also tied them into the old Scar Boys, because that is what they are. Okay, if you go read the old codexes, the rule books, I've done multiple videos on this, reading from the codexes. A Scar Boy and a Beast Snagger Boy are the same thing. They just changed it. I think if Games Workshop just called them Scar Boys instead of Beast Snaggers, they'd be the most popular game. Okay, but they are definitely the same thing. They are bigger, tougher, meaner orcs that hunt down bigger, tougher, meaner things that are covered in scars and have multiple cyborg parts on them because of all the fighting they put in. So yeah, so when we say Beast Snaggers, you gotta think we're including everything Beast Snagger and Scar Boy. So that being said, it's not the guys on the Swigs. They lost out earlier today. But as for Storm Boys, which are orcs with rockets strapped to their backs.
I mean, this does seem like a no-brainer to me. I love my Beast Snagger boys. They're one of my favorite units in the field. But same with Storm Boys, honestly. And I mean, again, we're talking history from at least second edition. We got 3 different model types there.
Yeah,
Every
right here.
single one of them is cool.
Yeah, bangers all. There has never been a bad.
And it's orcs with rockets on their backs.
That's enough said right there.
I'm gonna bring it back to Dawn of War 1.
Yes.
Storm Boys,
Oh man, amazing.
flying around, amazing. In the animation, right, where they're going everywhere. But also, have you guys played Tacticus at all? The mobile game? You can't play them in it, but you have to fight against them in it sometimes. And when they land on the battlefield, they're hilarious. They come in and they land, and then every once in a while, one of the rockets goes off, and they go spiraling. And sometimes they make it, and sometimes they don't. And when they don't, they explode. So just every time a Storm Boy has ever been in a video game or artwork or lore, it has been absolutely hilarious.
Stuff goes wrong.
Yes. And yet they keep strapping them up.
Yeah.
Feel like
Because
it's
they're true orcs.
It's like Evil Knievel and the Orcs just came together and just boom.
Right, right.
All right, there's a kit bash opportunity here.
Oh, you want to talk about kit bashing? I am currently working on a Storm Boy unit that every single jump pack is not the Orc Rocket, but is the jump pack from another faction.
Okay.
So there's an old school Space Marine jump pack, and a new school Space Marine jump pack, and a Chaos jump pack, and the engines off of the back of a Tau suits. And one of them has the hot air balloon from the Caradron Overlords, and then the Dark Eldar flying wing thing. One's on top of it. Like literally, it's every single thing that makes something else fly in this unit. They looted them all.
At that point, might I make a suggestion, even though we're here forever? orkiest non-orc unit might be one you might want to do. in the
That could be
future.
next Mork's bracket challenge.
Yeah.
Is the orkiest non-orc. I really like that. That
Yeah.
could be. Let us know down in the chat if that's what you want to see. All right, what's your vote, Ken?
Storm Boys.
Storm Boys.
Again, love for the Beast Nagas here. You have 3 huge Beast Naga fans, but it's for orkiest unit. Storm Boys with that hilarity absolutely takes it. All right, I'm gonna bring this over to the chat so they can see it. Make sure everything is going good with that, and then we'll get into the next round. Which way we go? There we go.
Bye.
All right, guys, how you doing? Here we go. Gork side, Tank Busters, Grot Tanks, Flash Gits, Beast Boss on Squigosaur. Got the Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun, Burnabama, Stompa, and Storm Boys. All right, let's see what the chat is saying here. We got... So Keith, Bapadap is agreeing with you on just about everything, man. Yeah, everyone is
I don't know
pretty...
who that is, but I'm going to assume it's me because I agree with myself about everything.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thanks, Bapadap. All right. So yeah, I got lots of love in here on all the things. I got a couple of busted brackets, but a couple is still in it. So yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna get into round 2 then.
Round 2.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah, there you go. You can monitor the chat over here instead of over there.
Oh, yeah, look, we
we're
got a
smart.
guy on it.
We're cunning. All right, let's get into it. First up, Tank Busters versus Grot Tanks. Ooh.
Tanks is both words.
Yeah.
So, right. Either way, you're coming out with a tank.
Explosions everywhere.
Yep. Okay, so on one hand, you've got orcs that blow up tanks.
Yep.
On the other hand, you have little orcs inside of tanks.
I mean, I think you just answered the win right there, didn't you?
Oh, because it wasn't an orc.
Well,
That's why the Grots had to be the
tanks.
best. Right.
Tank busters blow up drop tanks.
We could scooch Stomp it. Okay, so I'm not voting yet. I'm just sounding this out. Sounding this out.
We need to talk this out
Okay.
because we're at the point
Right,
where
yeah,
every one
these-
of these, anybody could win.
Yeah, these are all any way, any shape or form. Okay, Tank Busters, all the things we've said earlier, right? Variety though. You've got rocket launchers. Now you've got dual wielding rocket launcher guy, which I mean, come on, I'm just gonna pick up a second one. Is hilarious. Rocket pistols, which I mean, come on, it's
Also
a rocket
dual
pistol.
wielding.
Also dual wielding. Tank hammer. The
Right
old
there.
school rocket on the stick, right? And then even older, I wish I brought my whole unit with me. They had the tank buster bombs, so
Yeah.
they'd run up and like stick those to the defense too, right?
They also have squig bombs.
Yep. Yes. Also the squid. I have the old school metal ones with all the bombs in there, the round and stuff. So much fantasticness with tank busters, but also Grot Tanks come with all the different weapons.
All the different
too.
weapons.
Also hilarious.
Also
Also
get
get
the
the
double
double rockets. Never
Yep,
can't
yep,
get that.
yep.
Can-Bs. Or the can-Ks on them.
In the Speed Freaks game, they are awesome.
Yes. Yes, they
I
are.
would say. I'm gonna deal with Grot Tanks on this one. I'm drawing from that Speed Freaks game. I think they're just, they're all about works.
Yeah. I mean, if this was like a kit bashing one or a favorite unit to field in the game one, I would be all over Grot Tanks like a squig on a space marine. Okay, it's just
Like a snotling in a space marine.
right. Yeah, exactly. They're just so stinking fun and good and funny and just everything about them is amazing. But when I'm thinking of orkiness, tank busters are one of those things that have existed since before the dawn of time and continue to exist and will always be there. You will never not have tank busters. They've been in every single orc game that has orcs on feet, right? They are a staple of orkidom. Whereas Grot Tanks have kind of come and now sadly gone, but I don't know that they'll ever come back. For me, if Grot Tanks ever came back and they had randomized movement rolls where you could actually like pull back the little pullback toy and let it go just wherever it lands, which we did on the game, that would have sent it over the top for me, and I didn't do Grot Tanks. I think it has to be Tank Busters for me just because of that totality of orkiness. But again, this is so close. So close.
Boston makes me feel good.
That's what it's all about.
All right, so you were Grot Tanks, I was Tank Busters.
Tank Busters.
All right, Tank Busters it is. Grot Tanks go down. Tank Busters make the final four in a super, super close one. All right, next up, Flash Gits versus Beast Boss on Squigosaur.
Well, I'll start off. It's still Flash Gift for me. That's like almost the pinnacle for me.
Right?
Or
Yeah.
green guy with big gun. What more do you need? Pirates.
Right, yeah, pirate, big orc pirate with big gun. Like, oh.
Well, I mean, if you got a Beast Boss on Squigosaur with a pirate hat and a shark, if that was a normal like part of the lore and everything, instead of just a really cool print, I'd go with them. But it's Flash Kids for me. Again, crazy guns, pirate theme. Bad Ruck will run around with them at time to time on top of it, not to
May
bring
he
out
rest in
there.
peace.
May he rest in peace.
Okay. I love Flash Gits. Again, all of these are like super favorite units. These are all so difficult. For me, Flash Gits, as cool as they are, as awesome as they are, they're a little bit mono. Okay? They're all the DACA. They are all the DACA. They are DACA literally turned up to 11, like we talked about, the one that has the boombox built into it. Okay? But they don't have much in the way of trumping, either in the lore or the rules or the models. And they don't have that little bit of hilarity outside of pirate hats. Verse, Beast Boss on Squigosaur, as awesome as that unit is, the strongest attack is actually the squig biting something, which I think is just funny as all get out, that you're going to get into close combat with Ragute Gilliman or whatever, right? And you smack him all these times with your giant thing, and like, I might take it. And then the squig is on his ankle and mortal wounds. Like, it's just objectively funny. I love that.
It was a little swing going on with it, I'd be like, okay, yes.
I can respect that. But for me, yeah, it's super duper close. But the squig makes it over the top. Plus he's V8 powered. I can't. None of the def guns, none of the snaz guns are V8 powered. So
I got V4's tops. Maybe a lawnmower mode.
right. So it's Beast Boss and Squigosaur for me.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna have to go with Flash Kids.
Flash Gits.
All right.
See, this is why I brought in other war bosses, so that it wasn't just my unfiltered opinion. You got to make this fair for all of Orkidom. Old Big Mac getting overruled here, and Flash Gits taking it. All right, Flash Gits. There you go. All right. Next up, we got Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun versus Bird Obama.
You do have a Nomad model currently on.
Sag.
I'm gonna say Burn Bomber, just because I think that if you ran through these things, you just like flew them into your opponent's lines and just killed everything, as it should be. They died in the process, but it was amazing. So I'm gonna go with Burn Bomber. That is true. Great points.
But yeah, okay. Again, you both have amazing looking things, amazing in looking like not just the models, but like in the lore, the artwork, in the video games, right? Like everything about both of these is always really awesome and kind of hilarious at the same time. I just talked about Flash Gits being a little mono. The Shock Attack Gun is a little bit mono, but also so is the Burn Obama. So it's kind of even Stevens on that. Oh man, I love the Burn Obama. I love it to death. But at the end of the day, it only has one party trick, and that's dive bombing from 50,000 feet to deliver the flame bomb right to your face and possibly getting blown up in the process.
They definitely will.
They're definitely getting blown up in the process. But the Shock Attack Gun has multiple layers of hilarity. Like when it works right, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not like pooping in a helmet. Hilarious. When it works wrong, it's even more hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, now you've got a Big Mac with a shock attack gun in your guts. Or now you've managed to manifest an inside-out Land Raider in your back line. Like, the fact that there is no wrong for a shock attack gun to work because it's always going to be funny takes it for me.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Very nice.
Got to be the same. I'm sorry, Bird Obama.
Final countdown.
All right, so Big Mac with shock attack gun. All right, one more to make our final four here. All right, Stampa versus Storm Boys. Now, Stampa has had a bit of an easy ride up till now. It's a Stampa. It is absolutely crushed just about everything it's gone up against. But we're talking about Storm Boys here. They are orcs that willingly strap rockets onto their backs and fly into the battlefield to crump things.
This is a tough one.
Right?
I'll start off. I'm actually going to say Storm Boys.
Oh,
I'm going to say Storm Boys because right now I'm picking Dawn War 1.
right.
You maxed out, you built like, I don't know.
I think Ken's
100.
always picturing Dawn of War 1. I think he just has it going in his head all the time.
It's playing on his phone right now.
He's playing on his phone right
You
now.
jump across with like 80 of those guys, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
Peak orc right there. So Storm Boys.
I'm going to make you do the tiebreaker here, man, because I still think it's the Stomp.
Oh,
I mean,
dirty dog.
You could have Storm Boys in a Stomp and then fly
Ooh,
out of a Stomp.
that's good.
That'd be super cool.
That's a good point. That's a good point. A Stampa can take Burner Boys with it.
We'll let Burner Boys too.
Ah, too many orcs.
There used to be a Stompa like kid, I think, where like it had death cocktails.
Yeah, it had like the little air catcher in the back
Yeah.
thingy on it. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so talking this out because I truly don't know. Talking this out. Storm Boys, I'm with you. When you any of the orc video games, any of the animations that have ever been done that include a Storm Boy, all of the artwork of them, I don't know if one's ever been on a codex cover, but I know that they've been on like book covers and like a full page inside the rule books. Like I can just picture it right now, but like all the flames coming out the back, and he's like flying through the air, and then in the background you see one like corkscrewing off into nothingness, like explosions. They're just peak orgies. Like again, you close your eyes and you think orc. To me, it kind of goes shoot a boy, storm boy. Like that's the progression in my head when I start thinking orcs. But at the end of the day, when you're thinking orcs, the culmination is always Stampa. At the end of the day, like you build a Stampa, you have a Stampa. Everything is Stampa. Like.
Is your premier peak, if it's in your army, it's the premier part of your army.
Okay, here's going to be the thing for me. It doesn't matter who you are in 40K, what faction you play, what fan you are of whatever. If you know literally anything about 40K, you can identify a Stampa from 100 yards away without issue. And the fact that everybody that owns a Stampa has to transport it in the car seat with the seatbelt buckled and take a picture every single time.
I got a picture of that on my phone right now.
That's how mine made it here. Okay, I've even put them in a baby seat back in my garage for babies. Like, there is just something about that. Like, I mean, yeah, we talk about like Storm Boys in the lore and photos and stuff, but like all the artwork from the Armageddon campaigns of all the Stampas coming up over the rise or coming out of the rocks, right? The video game finales being a Stampa, the hilarity of like, oh, there was this giant war zone on this planet, and the Imperials abandon it, and they come back a week later, and the orcs that have managed to survive, what did they build? They built a Stampa out of the scrap. Like, that's always what they build. It's like how life defaults to being a crab, orcs default to being a Stampa. So, I've got to go Stampa.
Yeah, fair play, fair play.
All right, Stampa it is. He stomps the Storm Boy. And that is your final four. Tank Busters, Flash Gits, Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun, and Stampa. I don't think you can argue much with that final four.
No, you really can't.
That is peak orgies, right? Okay, final four, boys.
Man.
Oh man.
Okay, here we go. You guys want to talk about who's got the best deck? Tank Busters, versus Flash Gets. This is Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania. Like,
Which one's Andre the Giant? Is that Gork or is it Mork?
I don't know.
A little bit of both, right?
A little bit of
Oh
both.
man.
I'll start us off. I think the
Go for
Dak is like equal red.
Right.
But Flash just have that pirate thing going for him, and that is just too cool.
But Tank Busters have a rocket on a stick.
Rocket on stick. Very cool. But imagine if you ran a truck and you kit bash the truck to be a pirate ship, and you throw the little Flash gets
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
no, 100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
That is great. I love that.
Right.
I honestly
this is
do.
really this is Final Four, man. This
I
is
love that. I really do. But Tank Busters, they have that explosive personality to them. I mean, the kids are everywhere. You have, like we've talked about before, you got double rocket pistols. You got, I think they've been around forever.
all right. I'm gonna weigh in. I'm gonna weigh in.
All right, because
Okay.
I don't know where I'm at on this.
Flash Gets mega cool. They're
Yeah.
pirate orc knobs with literal cranked 211 guns, built with all of the biggest, snazziest things out there. They are objectively amazing, awesome things. But like I talked about last round, they're a little bit mono. Yes, they are DACA 211, but that's all they are, second to 11. Tank Busters, well, not as good at DACA, I will freely admit, and not as cool because they're not as big, even the new ones.
I don't know. It depends on how you define that.
They're
Number
not-
of bullets or the size of
Right, size of explosions, right? We could get into a lot of jokes there that are going to get us monetized. But for me, Tank Busters have the DACA and that up close and personal, right? Like they have the crumping too. It's not just that we're going to shoot at you; it's we're going to shoot at you while running at you at full speed. Because what I really want to do is get up close to the tank and hit you with my tank hammer, and
My
not
rocket
just the rocket
on a
launcher.
stick.
My rocket on a stick. And there's something about that where it's you've got both sides. You have DACA and you have Crumpin.
That's a good point.
In harmony. It is Gork and Mork in harmony in the Tank Busters.
Flash gets do a lot of crumple. I mean,
They-
they have choppas, they're good with them.
Rocket on a stick,
They're
though.
rocking on a stick. I
But it's
know,
not
I mean,
like-
you're using my own argument against me.
Now, picture this, right? The Flash gets getting a little Harry Cutlass, you know? Like, come on, Harry Cutlass Flash.
I know, very
Solution.
cool.
Pirate hat on Tank Busters.
Right, yeah. I was gonna say there's no reason why Tank Busters can't be
Fire.
free.
Oh, I guess you have a point there, but
Right.
it just works better on Flash Gets. I don't know why.
Well, probably because it comes in the kit.
Yeah,
But-
probably.
But yeah, no, I mean, again, this is Final Four. This is absolute insanity here. I mean, you're talking Jordan versus Kobe here, right? Whatever analogy you want to do here, this is it. But yeah, Flash Gets as cool as they are, as crumpy as they are, as amazing as they are, as cranked up to 11 as they are. At the end of the day, they spin their teeth to get the snaz guns, and they sit at the back of the field showing off, blasting things. But really, they're just there to show off. They're going to hike off to the next battlefield. Tank Busters, they just want to find the biggest tank they can and go blow it up every single time.
Yeah.
Like, that up close and personal, that absolute crazy orkdom of, like, getting it in your face, because being in the explosion is way cooler than making the explosion. That's what does it for you.
Yeah,
You're
I'm going with
tiebreaker.
Tank Busters. I'm going with Tank
Oh,
Busters.
there it is.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
2-1. Tank Busters take out the Flash Gets.
My boys.
You're my boy, Blue. All right, Tank Busters make the final. All right, other side of the Final Four. This.
Oh, dude.
I'm having heart palpitations about this one.
The Stampa.
The Stampa,
Yeah,
the
Stampa
Stampa
says-
is worried. Big Mac with shock attack gun versus
Sure.
Stampa.
I had that arm fall off just last week.
All right. Big Mac came back together there. There we go.
There we go.
Well, where do you even start on this? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything
I mean,
we've talked about, right? All applies. Stampa is The absolute effigy of Gork and Mork. It is the Stompa. But at the end of the day, the only thing hilarious about it is that it's just so big and over the top.
Yeah.
Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun is hilarious in every dimension. Literally every dimension.
time. Yes.
Like, you're shooting a snotling through the warp. Or, sucking a Land Raider back through. Or, whatever permutation there is.
I'm not gonna lie. The Big Mac with SAG is with the shock attack gun is my favorite model unit in
Right.
all of Orc.
Right.
I mean,
right.
way over the Stompa even. Like it is my favorite. So I'm always gonna vote for the Big Mac with the shock attack gun. Even though I think the Stompa is super orky.
Right?
But all things equal, they're both super orky. So my favorite's gonna win.
Okay. Great points all around. I'm gonna go with Stomper. I just love it. I mean,
Ken and I are always against each other.
Right, it's
Yeah.
Gork and Mork over here, man. Me
It's
having to be the
always-
tiebreaker sucks.
It happens to us all
This is
the
a
time.
terrible idea. Who thought of this?
Sag's got the hilarious factor, but I'm gonna go with just straight dagger. Plus, I mean, look at the guns in this thing. That is
It's
hilarious.
super awesome.
It's gun
It is
stapled
hilarious.
on gun. I find
Right, I mean, this gun is like the length of the battle wagon, like no lie. The gun is so big it has a platform for the ammo drum for a grot to stand on to like keep it oiled and running. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, God,
And if you
this
put
is
them
so
on the
hard.
table to actually play in tournament play, you can barely fit them through anything. So you're just, and like half the time your movement is like,
All right, okay, well, we did that.
but the gun's now reaching over everything. You can see everything.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it doesn't have a base, so there's no pivot
Right.
penalty.
No, there is. It's 2 inches, but you
Why?
gain
There's
in-
no base.
He's so wide, it doesn't matter. You gain 3 inches.
Everybody thinks his fat is longer than his fat. Oh man, I just how do you choose this? Okay, I mean, again, everything stop it. All the artwork, all the lore, all the games, all the everything. Stompa is so cool. That being said, for me, again, not just unit, not just model, totality of orcdom. Stompa exists on the range of orc walkers in the way that Warboss exists on the range of big orcs. Okay? Yeah, it's the biggest thing we've got in the 40k game. But above that, there's Gargant and Mega Gargant, and I don't even know, right? And like, so you've got like Killican, Death Dread, Gorkanaut, Stompa, right? It's just another bigger, stompier robot, but it's not the biggest or the stompiest because you can just go.
I will say that the Stompa looks way better than the Garden. That thing looks like a snowman.
It does. It does. The armor cast ones especially look like snowman. But there's something to be said for that somewhere out there is some crazy Big Mac making like the literal Spaceball 1 of Mega Gargants, right? So that they can land the Killer Cruiser on the planet and like go into Mega Maid mode. Like, that's a thing. And in that context, Stomp is cool. Whereas Shock Attack Gun, not only do you have Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun, but he has become such a thing in the lore that now you have Shock Jump Draxtons, where you're shooting an entire buggy through the warp at things. And now the other new Big Mac has a shock attack thingy to move whole units through. Like, well, instead of shooting things through the warp, why don't we just travel through the warp? Shock attack has become a thing, even above and beyond the Big Mac taking it.
It's the quintessential shooting unit for Orc.
I mean, it always has been.
Always has.
Always
It's
has
the quintessential boy with a gun.
Yeah, it is the literal boy with the gun cranked up to 11
Yeah.
in the crazy pants ways. As much as I love Stomp It, as much as I think most brackets will probably Stomp It a win from the beginning. I think the Big Mac Chuck Tucker has to take it. Just that hilarity, that iconicness. I didn't decide it till just now. I mean, this is
Right,
not
right.
predetermined. I mean, it's Yeah, I think it has to be.
It is decided.
Fair enough.
So we did. It's 2-1.
2-1.
Oh, Stampa goes down.
And with his
Stampa goes
non-stop
down.
incorrect takes.
I thought the stomper was just gonna roll to.
Oh, you know, I did too. And then he went up against the sag, and it just happened to fire
Yeah,
stop
again.
inside, and it broke.
Right? I mean, just like Big Mac with Shack Attack versus Death Dread was like so hard. I mean, Stampa's even worse than Death Dread.
Oh, yeah.
This could have been the final. Should have been the final if they were on opposite sides of the bracket. So I think the chat's going crazy. No, Stampers. Okay, here is your final. We have Tank Bustas versus Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun.
We messed
This-
up everybody's bracket.
Yeah, everybody's bracket has got to be. There's no way I got to give anything away now. Woo! There's some crazy person
We're
out
gonna
there
keep
that
my army.
their garage made the bracket and it's right. That's what's gonna get me in. Okay, so this is really interesting because as crumpy as an orc song, we end up with two really shooty units against each other. But Tank Bustas versus Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun. And again, we're not just talking models, we're not just talking current like rules. This is the totality of orcdom. So all of the Tank Bustas that have existed from Rogue Trader through now, all of the lore for them, same with the Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun, it's everything about it. Now, again, I don't think you could get a better final, like really, really thinking about it. Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun has had 3 different models already and has spawned new models off of it. The Shock Trackster, the other Big Mac, right? Tank Bustas have had 3 complete sets of models now and have been around from the beginning. They are also one of the most kit bash units of all time because it's just so much fun to put rockets on sticks.
And everybody has a million, well, not everybody, but a lot of old-time orc players have a lot of boys, and they're not seeing a lot of tables.
Right, and a lot of rocket launchers.
That's what did it need.
Right?
Hit dash 5 them up, and there we go.
Right, there you go. So, I mean, they really are, like, model-wise, even Stevens.
Yeah.
Lore-wise, I think they're even Stevens too. I mean, it's Tank Busters, like you said, they've been in every single video game, been in all the lore, all the books. But
Yeah.
same with...
Same with the sag.
I'll start us off. So right now I'm picturing Dawn War 2.
Oh, look at that!
Second one.
Okay, just don't go to 3, because that game was
Okay,
not
go.
nearly
Go.
as
We don't talk about 3.
We don't talk.
We're going to talk about 3.
But here we can take us and shoot through the rockets like artillery.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was like amazing. So that's what I'm picturing right now. I love the shot attack gun and flaming garage, but artillery rockets, hammer rockets. I mean, that's I think that takes it. So I'm gonna go Tank Busters.
Again, we're Gork and working it here.
I love it, though.
I've
So
already
awesome.
said everything
I got-
I'm gonna say about the shock attack gun. I've already said it's my favorite model. I already said it's got 7 pages of rules.
It's not really
Well, it
good
had.
helmet, yeah.
Then they went to 2, and then it's just constantly changing. Every edition they change it up, and it's still crazy. This is probably the least crazy edition right now.
Definitely the least. My least favorite.
But now you can have him
Want to be high
with Tank He leads them.
Ooh, that's a point. He leads the Tank Busters. That, ooh.
And that is my final point.
Yeah,
Shock attack gun for me.
in that model.
Boys before toys.
They're both boys.
They are.
And they both have toys. And they both
They're
have
both boys
toys.
with toys. Oh man. Okay. Oh, this is so tough. I don't want to do this.
The real reason you had us come here is so you were hoping we would agree.
Yeah,
on
and then
everything,
you're like,
then
oh,
you
well,
well,
it's
there.
Thanks for
No,
coming,
it's
guys.
up to
Right?
you.
Okay. So again, lore-wise, right? Tank Busters are a unit. They're odd boys, right? They're orcs that got obsessed with blowing up tanks, but they got obsessed in a really weird way. And instead of just shooting it with a gun from the back of the field, they decided to run up and attack it in close combat with tank hammers and rocket pistols and tank busted bombs and all that other crazy stuff, right? So there's something to be said about that. And they've always formed a unit together. They found other orcs that think like them and go, oh, this is really funny. We should go blow up these tanks, right? So lore-wise, that's really hilarious. The Big Mac with Shock Attack Gun, it's hilarious in the lore for the way the gun works. but there's nothing really about the Big Mac himself. Like he's just a Big Mac. He builds probably
With
built
a
a stock
shock
pack.
attack
And,
gun.
no, yes. But what I'm saying is the funny part of it is the gun itself,
And
not
the
necessarily and the ammo, not necessarily the unit or the orc itself, right? So it's like the orkiest weapon of all time, but is it the orkiest unit?
Did you used
Of
to
all
have to?
time.
I can't remember. I seem to remember there being snotlings, and that you would have them with the shock
Yes,
attack
they
gun,
did,
and you would
they did.
shoot them.
Yes, the very first one, the first metal one, not the second metal one that got remade in
So,
Finecast.
generally
The very
with
first
background
one where he was he wasn't a big mech yet. He was just a mech with shock attack, and he was a little weedy guy. Yes, it came with metal snotlings, and you shot them one at a time.
Yeah.
You know, unless you shot yourself through, pulled the tank
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, when you ran out, you were out. Except if I'm remembering correctly, and I could be wrong,
Been a long
it's been a
time.
number of decades and a lot of squig beard between them now. But if I remember right, if you ran out, he could run around the battlefield and try to suck up anything else in the vacuum cleaner, including not other orcs. So,
How does that not win?
yeah, I mean that's
How does that not win?
the tank busters. But tank busters.
Imagine a little
trying to-
squig dynamite strap to it, running
Okay, yeah.
across. I mean,
There's a point. Tank busters come with squigs. Have
Oh,
always
salt.
come
I
with
can like the
squigs.
salt.
Salt Bay, Squig Bay. Ugh, okay. I might lose all credibility with this, being that I am old Big Mac. I cannot go with Big Mac on this one. I think it has to be tank busters. Again, we're not talking orkiest weapon. We're not talking orkiest model. We're not talking orkiest kit to like kit bash. We're totality of everything. Lore, not just like lore in the game, but like the real life lore of like how many editions, how many rules, right? Like all of that. So we talk about 7 pages worth of shock attack gun tables in the video games, in the media, and like just everything about it. Tank busters for me, being that it's a unit of like-minded orcs, being that they have both DACA and crumping, being that they see a Bane blade and they get excited and they run towards it. That is the only thing in all of even Necrons don't do that, okay? Like even Tyranids, like,
They don't even die.
it's like 30, right? Like only orcs are like, let's go! Like there's just something about that. And then yeah, they take squigs with them, and the squigs have bombs, and yeah, I mean just everything about
I mean, it just goes
tank
to show.
busters.
He can be wrong too.
I don't know. I don't know how much crap I'm gonna get for not picking the Big Mac, but I can't pick the Big Mac. It's gotta be Tank Busters.
Bust the boys.
There is your winner for orkiest unit of all time, the Tank Busters.
Put them right next to each other, so everybody knows who won right here.
Close up.
Yeah, we should definitely do a close up. We did bring quite a few Tank Busters with us. New, old, OG. Oh yeah, there we go. Gotta go like that. That could be the thumbnail later. Taking out the. There you go, boys. Taking out the Big Macs with shock attack gun. So there we go. There we have it. We have a winner of this contest. And again, here is the final bracket for everyone to see. Tank Busters go all the way, taking out Warbikers, Grot Tanks, and Flash Gits on their way to the final to take out Big Mac with shock attack gun. That was hilarious and close and super duper fun. All right, boys, we got one thing left to do while we're here.
Raffle time.
So it is also raffle time. You guys know I've been running the whole first quarter, so January, February, March. We've been doing, you can win Old Big Mac's Army. And if you were a YouTube channel member, a Patreon, or bought anything on the new merch site, you got an entry. So every month you were a paid patron, you got an entry. Every month you were a YouTube channel member, you got an entry. And every item you bought, not just the order, we had a bunch of people make multiple orders, or make an order with multiple items. Every item got you an entry. So I have in here, handwritten, handmade, identical things, 138 entries
Whoa, man.
to put in here. We are gonna mix those up, boys. Okay, so 138 entries, which if you think about it, even if you only entered once, you have a 1 in 138 shot to win an entire orc army. And then second place is the looted tank kit. You're gonna get a Lehman Russ and a ton of bits to loot it however you want, which I'm super jealous of. At first I was gonna build it, and then I was like, oh no, like the building part of it is what's fun. Like, it's so unique of an experience. And then third place gets I built a custom Booster Blasta with a t-shirt cannon, and then painted it like Red Squid cans. So it's the Red Squid t-shirt launcher, a custom Booster Blasta. Yeah, I want to make sure these are all separated out from each other. Nobody is sticking inside anybody else. Hey Robin, you want to come draw the winner so that we have true impartiality here? We've got some that are stuck together, making sure they are all getting unstuck.
That's pretty good.
Okay. All right, Robin. You want to get any stuck in there? This
They're all
box
gonna
might
be
actually
stuck
not
in
be the
there.
greatest thing.
No,
to do.
it's not. It's really
Does anybody have a
not.
hat? Does anybody have a hat? Oh, you have a hat.
Yeah, take my hat.
We're gonna put them all into Ken's hat. Right, hold that. Make sure none go on the floor.
Oh, you mean like the ones that are going on the floor right now?
We're gonna get them all. We're gonna show everybody that we're gonna get them all. We gotta make this fair. No dirty deaf school double dealing here. We're not some stinking filthy oomies. We do this right proper. Okay. Oh, there was some hiding. Okay, so just to show, box is empty. We got nothing on the floor. Independent observer from the UN. Yep. All right. Okay. Draw for the winner, please.
Did you start with third or first?
Ooh, what should we? Are we starting with third or first?
Always work your way. Yeah.
Okay, starting with third place. All right, third place, winner of the custom Booster Blasta buggy, Matthew Ducat.
Congrats.
Matthew, you have won third place. You have got yourself a custom Booster Blasta t-shirt cannon buggy. So shoot me DM message, whatever. I'll also find you, and we will get that shit to you. So that is your third place winner. All right, second place, which might be the winner because they get to do the looted tank.
The
kit.
real winner.
The real winner here.
Who wants 2,000 points of orcs when you can have a tank that you can loot?
Right?
Duh.
That one? Okay. It's one. Okay, here we go. Second place winner of the Loot Your Own Tank kit is Tim Preston.
Tim, all right.
Tim,
Congrats,
you
Tim.
have won the coolest thing ever. You've got the, it's a Lehman Russ tank that is built, but then all of the orc pieces, you're going to get an entire box of bits to absolutely go mad with this thing. Do it yourself. All right, here it is, grand prize winner. Are you guys ready there on chat? We should see a lot of wine going on because this is it. The culmination of 3 months.
3 months.
3 months. You're down to a one. Yes, the red squig shirts.
Yes.
Make sure you get yours on to redonesgofasta.com. Also, the water bottle. We have a new artwork there as well, made by Ben Bam, which is super cool. Those have been selling like hotcakes. We got a black and white one that looks like a metal shirt, super duper rad, and then an army green one, and then the hoodies for that come in full color. Yeah, so super rad. All right, let's do it. Yeah, no cheating. Okay, here we go. The final winner. Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Schneider, you have won Old Big Mex Orc Army. You've got boys on boys on boys, knobs on knobs, war bikers, a truck, a Beckett truck scrap jet, everything to build your own DACA jet, tank busters, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's a Big Mac. There's a ton of stuff, literally from my own personal collection, including a pound of bits. So, Kevin, coming to you, a build your own army. That is that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your entries. We are definitely doing more contests, so don't give up on things. We'll be announcing that in future videos. I've got more orcs. Right? Is that right? But yeah, that was an absolute blast. Gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough. This was so hard. I have like literally been having anxiety about this, and being able to have two absolute war bosses here, the know orcs inside and out, can argue about everything. I really think we did a great job with this.
I think so too. You might want to do a quick
By all means.
shout out to some future things
Let's
I'm
do it,
working on.
yeah.
So if you enjoyed having me around, and maybe even you, if you want to stop by,
Yeah.
I will be doing streaming for the Dice and Death GT that's coming up in 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
You're welcome to come by. I'll have you sit down at the table and do some talking if you want to.
All right.
You can also see me at Noobhammer 40K from time to time. I do a bi-yearly charity stream. We're doing the next one in June.
Nice.
Love those guys.
Well, that's what I had to
Okay.
kind of put out there. And I'll give you the actual streaming stuff later. so
Shoot
you-
me your links, and we will
so you
get
can
it
put 'em in
on this
One
one
of
it gets
these.
posted later, but
Yeah.
also we'll get it up on our Discord server. Just always free. Link in the description of literally every single video. It's always live to come and join the Discord. We'll get those links up in
Yeah.
Discord, and then as we get closer to the date, we'll get closer to June. We'll definitely be plugging all of that for sure. So that was
Great.
awesome. Where's Ken? What you got for us?
Stay crumping.
Sticking up, and I love it. All right, everybody Gork, everybody Mork, everybody here at MindTaker Miniatures. The red ones go faster. All the best grots at home. This was super duper fun. Super huge shout out to Blissful Badger actually, because I totally stole this idea from him like a dirty death. He started pulling out. I don't know if you guys watch him. He's one of our viewers. He's got his own YouTube channel. I've linked it back to the very first one of these. He's been all month long pulling out every single one of his armies, and his armies are huge. Like his smallest army is still like the size of my orcs. But he's been setting up every single army and doing a like Mork Madness Bracket on which of his armies is best, right? And it's been a lot of fun. But I saw his first couple of videos and I was like, oh, I should do that with orcs.
Great idea.
And then I just rolled with it.
dude,
So,
that's great.
so super big thanks to Blissful Badger for letting us totally steal your idea. Thank you everybody that commented on these things and like threw some stuff out there. There's definitely been a lot of talk online about what unit was going to end up where here in this final 16. We've been plugging this for I think 2 weeks now that we've had the final 16 set. So it's been really fun. Super enjoyed it. If you like having these guys on, if you want to do some more live streams or a podcast or something like that, let us know down in the comments. Like this was our first time trying this live here at MindTaker. I think it actually worked really cool. Having a great time together. So yeah, I mean, super rad, super fun. Do we got anything there that we gotta answer for? Or are they all already ganging up on me? Have I lost everybody because I'm not a Big Mac anymore?
Oh, I think they still like it. For now.
For now.
Yeah. There's lots of logging going on.
Well,
There's lots of what?
Lots of log.
What? Logging.
okay.
Logging?
Okay, we're gonna settle this right now because this is more important than
The whole thing.
Okay.
I literally stopped listening to one of the orc books because the orcs walked in.
Originally, you should know this. Rogue Trader back in the day, it was Warg. It had the R and the hard G. Second edition in Gork and Morka, they took out the R, they left the G. In fact, there was a lot of times where, like in the books and stuff, when they spelled it out, it was Wa apostrophe G, G-U-H, okay? My explanation has always been that orcs that are from south of the galactic equator say the G. Like,
All right, that explains
southern
it. Yeah,
dialect.
yeah.
So, but here's the thing. Like, at the beginning of the videos, it's always Wa, but at the end of the videos, it's Wagon. And so I cover both bases,
I
Gork
see how
and
that
Mork.
is.
We're simple my orcs down there, you know?
I think this is just again the orc difference.
Yeah, the Gork orcs say the G, the Mork orcs don't. Okay, and
Yeah.
we'll fight about it and trump over it until the end of time. but neither is incorrect, and neither is Ward. If you say the R, you are proper old school.
And
And
maybe
won't
that's
hear
what we
nothing
just need to
else.
start going. Maybe the next tournament I'm at, I will shout out. I don't even shout wall because I'm a sophisticated Gork player. Pinky's up. But I will shout Gork.
The
And just
awesome.
have everybody look at me with it.
At Tacoma Open last year, I went the whole day without saying wrong once. And at the very, very end, they'd already done like all their whatevers for the day, and there was like very few people left in the hall, and we were all the way in the corner, and I was filming with a fan, and we did the wog on. And like we said it, and then like everybody that was left in the building said it too. It was hilarious. Like it was 2 hours after the last game had been played. Everyone's tired and doing it.
We were napping back at the rest of the house
people
by
are
then,
sleeping
right?
on the floor, and somebody yells "wah," and everybody immediately "wah" back on the It was like core memory there. All right, well, we have to do it here in the store. Sorry, Robin.
Sorry, man.
All right,
What are we
guys.
doing? Are we doing log on?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's how you always end it.
That's
All
how
right.
you ended, okay.
3, 2, 1. Wog on!
I like it.
Nice.
Very good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
That was a lot of fun, man.
That was
I gotta
super